I love that all of you guys got your guys' stuff already. Well, some of it. I feel like I can't do a true post about the program or the workouts until I have the step, which is so silly because people can do it without the step. So, and Ashley, Beachbody loves me. I'm waiting for Autumn. So I want to start. I have like a little 10-minute video thing that I want to show you guys first, just to kind of pick up the mindset and positivity game, because I know this time of year can be hard. So it's a 10-minute video. I apologize if some of you guys may have seen it or not. A block of wood is perfect. But so should I start that before she's on, you think, Emily? Or yeah?
I think she'd probably want us to.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and oh, there's people. There's more people. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, let's see, it's been 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to share this video with you guys, and it's 10 minutes. Please watch it. I promise you, it's very powerful, and it's so good, and I think you'll understand why I'm having you listen to it first. And then, because I'm going to be training you guys about this form that I created that's been amazing, but it's not going to require a lot of time. So just FYI. So if everyone can mute themselves so that everyone could hear the video, and then after the 10 minutes is over, I'll stop screen sharing. We'll do a little chat, and then we'll go into the training. Okay? All right. Wait. I pushed my light button thinking that was going to play the video. Okay. Share. Okay. Real quick, Emily, can you hear that? Okay.
My best friend recently had a baby. And when I met, I was in awe of witnessing this tiny, beautiful being enter into our lives. I also had this realization that he wasn't just entering our lives, he was entering the world. This crazy world that especially now feels so incredibly challenging. I spend a lot of time in my work talking to people about who we are, who we must be, and what our healing looks like. So, I mean, the first time I held him, I had my pep talk ready. You know, I wanted him to know that the way we find our strength is through our challenges. I wanted him to know that we can all do something big when we start small. I wanted him to know that each of us is more resilient than we could ever imagine. So here I am holding little Thelonious. I look down at him and it hits me. He's a baby. He's not going to understand a single word I say to him. So instead I thought it'd probably be a better idea if I went home and wrote. So, you know, this is for grown-ups, but it's also for Thelonious when he's old enough to read it. The world will say to you, be a better person. Do not be afraid to say yes. Start by being a better listener. Start by being better at walking down the street. See people, say hello, ask how they are doing, and listen to what they say. Start by being a better friend, a better parent, a better child to your parents, a better sibling, a better lover, a better partner. Start by being a better neighbor. Meet someone you do not know and get to know them. The world will say to you, what are you going to do? Do not be afraid to say, I know I can't do everything, but I can do something. Walk into more rooms saying, I'm here to help. Become intimate with generosity. Give what you can give and do what you can do. Give dollars, give cents, give your time, give your love, give your heart, give your spirit. The world will say to you, we need peace. Find your peace within. Hold it sacred. Bring it with you everywhere you go. Peace cannot be shared or created with others if we cannot first generate it within. The world will say to you, they are the enemy. Love enough to know that just because someone disagrees with you does not make them your enemy. You may not win an argument, you may not change a mind, but if you choose to, you can always achieve the triumph of radical empathy and understanding of the heart. The world will say to you, we need justice. Investigate. Find truth beyond the stories you are told. Find truth beyond the way things seem. Ask why. Ask, is this fair? Ask, how did we get here? Do this with compassion. Do this with forgiveness. Learn to forgive others. Start by truly learning how to forgive yourself. We are all more than our mistakes. We are all more than who we were yesterday. We are all deserving of our dignity. See yourself in others. Recognize that your justice is my justice and mine is yours. There can be no liberation for one of us if the other is not free. The world will say to you, I am violent. Respond by saying, I am not with my words and not with my actions. The world will say to you, we need to heal the planet. Start by saying, no, thank you, I don't need a plastic bag. Recycle, reuse. Start by picking up one piece of trash on your block. The world will say to you, there are too many problems. Do not be afraid to be a part of the solutions. Start by discussing the issues. We cannot overcome what we ignore. The more we talk about things, the more we see that the issues are connected because we are connected. The world will say to you, we need to end racism. Start by healing it in your own family. The world will say to you, how do we speak to bias and bigotry? Start by having the first conversation at your own kitchen table. The world will say to you, there is so much hate. Devote yourself to love. Love yourself so much that you can love others without barriers and without judgment. When the world asks us big questions that require big answers, we have two options. One, to feel so overwhelmed or unqualified we do nothing. Two, to start with one small act and qualify ourselves. I am the Director of National Security, and so are you. Maybe no one appointed us and there were no Senate confirmations, but we can secure a nation. When you help just one person to be more secure, a nation is more secure. With just one outstretched hand that says, are you okay? I am here for you. We can transform insecurity into security. We find ourselves saying to the world, what should I do? What should we do? The better question might be, how am I showing up? I ask the world for peace, but do I show up with peace when I see my family and friends? I ask the world to end hatred, but do I show up with love not only for those I know, but those I don't know? Do I show up with love for those whose ideas conflict with my own? I ask the world to end suffering, but do I show up for those who are suffering on my street corner? We say to the world, please change, we need change. But how do we show up to change our own lives? How do we show up to change the lives of the people in our communities? James Baldwin said, Everything now we must assume is in our own hands. We have no right to assume otherwise. This has always been true. No one nominated Harriet Tubman to her purpose, to her mission, to her courage. She did not say, I'm not a congressman or the president of the United States, so how could I possibly participate in the fight to abolish a system as big as slavery? She instead spent 10 years making 19 trips, freeing 300 people, one group of people at a time. Think about the children of those 300 people, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, and beyond. Our righteous acts create immeasurable ripples in the endless river of justice. Whether it's Hurricane Katrina, Harvey, Irma, or Maria, people did not say, there's so much damage, what should I do? They got to work on what they could do. Those with boats got in their boats and started loading in every woman, man, and child they came across. Near and far, people gave their dollars, they gave their cents, they gave their hearts, they gave their spirit. We spend so much time thinking we don't have the power to change the world. We forget that the power to change someone's life is always in our hands. Change making does not belong to one group of people. It belongs to all of us. You don't have to wait on anyone to tell you that you are in this. Begin. Start by doing what you can with what you've got, where you are, and in your own way. We don't have to be heroes, wear a uniform, call ourselves activists, or get elected to participate. We just have to be brave enough to care. Now, around the time Thelonious was born, I went to the birthday party of a man named Gene Moretti. It was his 100th birthday, which means he lived in the United States through the Depression, World War II, the struggle for workers' rights, the achievement of a woman's right to vote, the civil rights movement, a man on the moon, the Vietnam War, and the election of the first Black president. I sat with him and I said, Gene, you have lived in America for 100 years. Do you have any advice during these current times? He smiled and said to me simply, yes. Be good to as many people as possible. And as he danced with my mother, who is, by the way, half his age, in a room full of generations of his family and hundreds of people, many of whom traveled thousands of miles to be there to celebrate him, I realized that he had not just given me advice, he had given me the first step that every single one of us is capable of making if we want to create a real, wholehearted impact on the world around us right now. Be good to as many people as possible.
How good is that? So good, right? I'm gonna put my headphones in, but the reason why I wanted to share that, tell me if you can hear me. You can hear me, Sullivan? Okay. The reason why I wanted to share that is because I think a lot of times when we go into these kinds of businesses, you know, I don't know, I've only ever been in Beachbody, obviously, but something that we tend to think is, oh, I will start posting when I have a transformation, or I will do that when I've got it all figured out. Whatever it might be, you feel like you just have to be like so super qualified and all that kind of stuff. When she says all you have to do is qualify yourself. It's not up to anyone else to tell you whether you can do it, whether you can't do it, or anything. It literally starts with you. And I am like, I've been sitting there talking like about how like we need to start focusing on the root of everything and not so much the surface of things, you know? And so I feel like it all starts within us, our hearts, our minds, our families, and all that kind of stuff. And it's really hard to it's really easy to forget. I do it all the time. and forget. And I'm struggling with my own mindset right now. So I feel like it's a good thing to remember where when she's saying, instead of saying, well, what should I do? You just, what could you do? You start with one person. Don't look at Emily or Ashley's SC points or rank advancements or anything like that. You're literally just starting with one person at a time, one day at a time, and you're going from there. When you start overthinking it, it's just way too much. You have to sit there and work on you. But you can't sit there and say that you want to change the world if you're not willing to change yourself and then focus on all the little things. So be good to as many people as possible. Everything she talked about is pretty much what Beachbody stands for. You know, be kind to each other, do personal development, take care of yourself first, be proof that the product works, don't be salesy. None of those things. You are literally just showing them your transformation, and as you transform, it's not always a physical transformation, it's not always the goal weight, because goal weights and all those kinds of things is not what speaks to people, because people find that getting to their goal weight is impossible. They just imagine it. But what they can find relatable is maybe 1 pound here, 1 push-up here, 1 whatever here. So if you're finding that you're getting yourself in your head and all of those things right now, I just wanted to give you guys a little pep talk, a little reminder that we are here to make a difference. But it's not like we need to change the world overnight, okay? We're doing this, we're on a mission, and we're doing it together. So I am now going to switch all of this over into something totally different, and I'm going to show you guys a form that I created for easy enrollment. So before ShareCart, some of you guys were here before ShareCart was here, but we would just send direct links, and it would be a link with your Coach ID hooked to it, and then they end up doing the order themselves. We did not have a thing where we were able to place the kind of Shakeology that they wanted in the kind of program that they wanted, or the option at checkout for them to add Energize and Beach Bars and all of those things, and offering them the coach option. So when you are sitting there talking to somebody, you want to get to know them, but you don't want your conversations to all be like you're getting to know somebody, like, you know how it's, messages are overwhelming, right? You want to push it forward. You want to get to know the people. You want to form with them. You want to figure out their goals. You want to figure out what they're needing, all of those kinds of things, what they struggle with, all of those. But then when it comes to ordering it, I feel like all the questions become so overwhelming for them. And I'm so visual. So when you write stuff out in text, for me, I have to reread over and over and over to understand, okay? So I created this form because I feel like it would have been way easier for me, and it's just a all-in-one. When they say that they're ready, I say, all right, do you mind if I send you a form with all the pack options? You can let me know what you want, when you're able to order, and all of that kind of stuff, so that it's in there, okay? You could keep better track of them. If they can't order until payday or the beginning of the month or whatever it may be, then they can let you know, and then you don't have to be the annoying one. Hey, did you order? Did you order? Did you order? When can you order? Or maybe they tell you they can't order till the 15th, and then you go to order, then you forget to message them and be like, hey, did you want to order? You know what I mean? People fall through the cracks all the time. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys the form that I created. It's on Jotform, so I hope everyone can see. How do I do this? You're welcome. And let's exit out of this bad boy. Okay. Emily, I can see you. Can you see this? Okay. So here is the form that I created. Okay, hold on. Let me move you guys. I don't know. So I obviously put a picture. So this is what my group cover is, the Endless Victory Fit Club. And I give them a brief little explanation right here. And then I put in these pictures, and instead of putting like the names of everything, I just put numbers on them. So 1, 2, 3. And then if they already have BOD, I put that down here. And this one I know is looks a little wonky right now. There's a reason for that, because I want to show you guys how to get things to fit in here. So that's not what this always looks like. So everything here is numbered. This is all the packs, okay? Now, don't overwhelm your customer, okay? With this pack, it's the best deal. It comes with their equipment and they still get every single workout. So unless they're being specific and they want like the 80-day obsession challenge pack or something, you don't have to, or like you can put the 2B mindset if you attract people that don't really want to work out or they need the more nutrition value part of it. You can put those pack options on here, but I find less options is better, especially because they're going to get better value and still get pretty much all of the exact same things, okay? And they get VIP early access right when they do it this way, okay? So I have this before this program came out. When I showed it to Emily and Autumn, I had all other different challenge packs, and I found that it was a bit confusing for them. So this is why I did this, and it's been working great. Okay, so now you go here and you see all the pack options, and then they click here, and obviously this is, you know what I should do, preview form. Okay, this is what it looks like for real without the edited versions, okay? So then which pack would they like? They pick the number because I numbered them. And then now that you chose your challenge pack, I have a few questions to help get your order ready and sent to you. Full name, email, where do you live? That way I know which pack that I need to be sending them, whether they live in the UK, Canada, whatever. Here I put their order options on whether they want to sign up as a coach or a customer, and I give them the lowdown on that. And then I put here option 1 where I save money, option 2 not worried about saving money. It's a little play on words to make them feel silly when they pick not worried about saving money, but that's what I do. So then we do Shaco flavor, and I put which flavors are available where, what day are you able to order, and then please let me know your goals, and also let me know how I can help you and what I struggle most with. That way I have everything all in one form and I could keep people on track, okay? So it's actually like so flipping simple, okay? It took me a little bit to figure out how to do it, but all you do is you go to Jotform. You can have up to 4 or 5 forms that are free. If you want any more forms than that, then you'd have to pay for it. So you won't need more forms than that. You can have a Fit Club form, whatever. Like I have different forms for different things. And so you go to add element. Look, this is where you go and you pick everything here. So when I did my header, I just put here, and then you can choose where it goes up on here, okay? If you don't want it, you delete it and you remove it. Also, if any of you guys have any questions, be sure to let me know. I don't know if I could see the chat when I'm sharing my screen though, or you can unmute yourself. And then, so the thing that I had the hardest time was figuring out how to add an image. So when you want to add an image, you click image, choose file, upload folder. So you'd go and you'd pick the ones that I have. So that would be these, right? But they kept getting all weird like this. I didn't like it, and I didn't know how to make it fit until I realized that when you add the image, this is the main thing that showed up. So general is this, okay? But here is the size. So when you sit here and you play with the size, so I put in, for these, it's 600, and then it will fit. So you just play with the size however you want. If you want them to be smaller, then you can make them smaller. If you want them to go in different orders, you can move them, or you could even do the shrink and then it moves them. So like when I have, so if I do this one, I'll do 300 here. So that one's at 300. If I go here, I can hit shrink and it will go like to this one, or if I make it smaller, this one will pop up here so they could be right next to each other. Does that make sense? So all you do is sit there and play with what you like. So I personally like, I think it was 600 so that they can read all the fine print. 600. And when you space it out like this, it's easier on the eyes because this is so much text already. And when you do it on your mobile device, things like even if you had these side by side, like all three of these side by side, it's going to kick them to be vertical anyway. So you might as well just keep it like that and let it look good on both devices. And then you go down here, and you guys, I will share this form with Emily and Autumn and whoever else so that you guys can look at it. If you guys want to copy it, I really don't care. It's totally easy to duplicate. So then I put in their order options. I don't make it super confusing. When you go to do text, whoops, it's going to be like this. So you can edit, you can bold, you can change the fonts, and then once you're done, it will look like that, okay? Super clean, super simple, but don't make it overwhelming to the eyeballs, okay? And then here, so choosing order option, what that is it's single choice. So you hit single choice, you type in your question, choose order option, blah, blah, blah. You get the gist. If you want more options, you do that. If you don't, you do it like this, okay? If you want to add another option where somebody can write in, you do that. It's so easy, you guys. Delete that. This one for the Shakeology flavor is a drop down. Where is it? Oh, right here. This one is a drop down one. So you will sit here, you put your question in. You could either write your options all right here, or you can make it bigger, type your question, and then put your options, and you change it by things. So option 1, and then space, option 2, space, option 3, space, and then that's going to be my option. So when I go here, that's how it looks, okay? So you don't have to do individual everything. You can do it all right here by going to the properties and doing it this way as well, okay? You could even make it to where so I have all these options, but when you go to the advanced one, you can say, how many rows do you want to display in the thing? So when you go like this, you can go 3, click, and it's going to show all these options, but it makes it look kind of funny, but it looks normal when you preview it, okay? So it looks confusing. So then I just left it as 1, but what I'm trying to show you guys is that you can literally make it however you want. So if you're typing in longer things in this text box, then you probably will want it to be a different size line that it's going to show, okay? So just pay attention to that. I'm going to remove this. And then I'm going to remove that. And then obviously the Shako flavor was also, oh no, yeah. Oh yeah, this is the calendar, very easy. You put in right here, date picker, bam. People could come in and it works. I have people that are going to be ordering this month, and they can go in and edit it too after they fill out the form if something happens. And so I put it in my calendar. And if I know Ashley's doing really good at using, oh gosh, what is it called? The thing on Google, your Gmail account. Oh man, I forgot. What is it?
Google Streak.
Yes, Google Streak. And so this is a great way to get people's emails into Google Streak, okay? So that way you can be able to message them. So something that I was thinking that I really want to keep in contact with people in my challenge groups too. And so if I want to see, hey, how are you doing? Checking in. It could be a lot when you're messaging like 50, 60, 10, 3, whoever it is, when you are sitting there doing the same message, even if you're copy and pasting, just to check on them. And then the conversations are going to gradually happen. If you put them in Google Streak, you could send them all the same message and then they could respond. Then you could respond to those and you just save a little bit of time, a little bit of step, and then you get a little bit more organized. I'm still working on getting my Google Streak all set up, but this is part of the reason why I'm doing this. Okay. And then I put in, let me know your goals. And also let me know how I can help you. That way I can keep track. I can go to their name in my job form or in my Google Streaks and look at my notes or whatever it means and see what they're struggling with. And then I could sit there and be like, how's your nutrition going? I know you struggle with this. I know you struggle with staying on track. I know that you work a lot. How are your workouts going? How can I help you? Those kinds of things. And then you can keep better track of people. So this is like a pretty down and dirty, simple, I know it's like a training, but it's so pretty much self-explanatory. I just wanted you guys to see what you can accomplish with doing one of these and what it would look like visually. Okay. So does anyone have any questions, like while I'm screen sharing, that they want me to go over?
I do.
Yay.
Okay, so first question, have you ever used Google Docs?
No.
Like, is there a reason? Okay, so then you probably just,
So I've tried using Google Docs and I could not figure out how to use it. So that's why that's why I feel like this is a little bit more user friendly for me.
Okay, so when someone fills out your Jot form, then do you get an alert like in your email that someone's filled it out then?
It goes to your email, and the Jot form has, can you see this? Jot form has an app, so like somebody just filled out my thing, and so I have a notification. I don't want to open it yet because I don't want to forget about it, but
yeah.
It will, you go to your forms and then it will show you everybody that's ever applied for any of your forms in the Jot form app. And it also goes to your email.
Okay. So thank you. So second question then, so say someone fills out like your initial form and then you message them and like, I guess, when do you send this form? Like after they already know a little bit of the price or you haven't even talked price yet? Like, have you explained like the meat and potatoes of your group?
So what I do is, so my conversations look a lot like so first I focus mostly on the mindset sort of thing. What do you struggle with? My biggest question that people answer is, when you look in the mirror, when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you feel and what do you think? And so I go into, they'll sit there and pour their heart out to me and say they feel this, that, or the other. And then I pick what they're struggling with and how, oh, well, I totally get why you'd feel that way. Luckily with my groups, this is what you'll be able to get access to. And I don't expect perfection, blah, 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 blah. And you just have gradual conversation. And then, because I ask questions, so before I say anything here, I'm just going to read it to you. Is that okay? I'm going to stop the share that way, and then we'll share this if anybody needs to. How do I do this? Okay. So I say, yay, I'm excited to give you more details about it and be able to get to know you during this whole process. I'll give you a little information, then ask my questions. What will my group be all about? And then question mark. Well, first off, it's all about loving yourself from the inside out. I want to help you feel confident in your skin while also mastering healthy thought processes and habits. Really, I want you to look in the mirror and love you, feel good in your clothes, have positive self-talk on replay in your mind. It's something I show you how to do. In my group, you will receive. And then I go in and say, what they can potentially get. So a year's worth of access to every workout program Beachbody has released, as well as any new ones coming out in the year. Yes, this includes my 20-minute a day program, plus your first 30 servings of Shakeology, your nutrition guide with every program, and with the option of adding my awesome pre-workout and recover as well, plus me as your coach and access to my group. And then I say, we can discuss pack options for sure, but first I want to get to know you a little better. And then I say, what do you feel when you look in the mirror? What do you struggle with most with health and nutrition? And do you have any specific goals you'd like to achieve? I like to get to know people before so I could really make sure I offer you the perfect support. And then they go through, they send me what they struggle with, what they don't struggle with, and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm like, whatever they say. So if they're struggling with, they don't like what they look like, or they don't like how they fit in their clothes, I'm like, I understand that. And I will talk about how being able to feel good in your skin is a added bonus, but the main thing that we focus on is changing your mindset and stuff like that. And then they talk to me, and then I say, if it sounds like this would be a great fit for you, would you mind if I sent you a form with all my pack options so that you can see what you think? And then they look at it and they go through all of it, and then they tell me, okay, I'm ready to do this, or yay, I filled it out, or I'm going to fill this out. I'm going to talk to my husband first. I didn't realize there's so many options, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So I give them kind of the gist of what they will get in a pack, but I don't sit there and go over every single pack option, because I feel like the visual aid is so much easier than going back and forth in messages. I even get so confused. Like, I'll be like, all right, which pack do you want? And then I go to their order. Oh, wait, I forgot. What flavor of Shakeology do you want? Blah, blah, blah. This just handles it all in one fell swoop, and we go from there. Does that make sense? Okay. Does anyone have any more questions? Do you want me to go over anything else on the form, or how to do something, or anything like that? I didn't think that you guys would want to sit through a whole call of me making a form. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of how the form is, and then I will send you guys my form. Just don't fill it out, because I don't want to waste my time messaging you thinking that you're going to be in my group, okay? And then you guys can go on, and I don't even care if you copy and paste. Just don't be stealing my coaches where they be like, man, this girl has the exact same form. This is weird. You know what I mean? And put your own picture probably is a good idea. And, the basics. But seriously, it's not complicated at all. It did take me a few hours to figure it out, because it was trial and error. I couldn't quite figure it out. But once I got the hang of it, I'm like, bam, this is easy.
I do have another question. Sorry to be hogging all the questions.
No, I'm glad you have questions.
Okay, so I noticed that you put in the accessory bundle as the last one. So last year when 80 Day Obsession came out, I didn't create a form like this, but I kind of, when it came down to pricing, I sent an email that was okay, after they said, yes, I'm in, then I explained what each pack and gave them the two graphics of the either one with bod or one without. And I do think the visual worked so well. People were like, oh, I want that one,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm visual too, but I never included the accessory bundle because I was scared that people are going to be like, oh, well, that's cheaper. Can I just do that? Have you, I don't know. Have you come across that? Or
when people say, can I just get the accessory bundle? Usually I will say that is an option on there for my current coaches or customers, but it's not the best bang for your buck. So I'd recommend no, not just the accessory bundle. I say, I come from being broke and needing to budget and all that stuff. So I understand that it is an investment, but I also want you to get the best deal out of it. And then go from there. So I've never had anybody naysay me after that, but I did include it because I plan, and I am starting to go through my entire back office and be like, because people will drop off and fall off, and I'm send them an email. It's the new year. Let's get started. So that same form is going to work for new customers and old customers, because now coaches can get challenge packs. I think is crazy, but it's awesome. Or if they need a completion pack, or maybe they have everything still and they're on Home Direct, but they would like the accessory bundle so that they can do this program. Does that make sense? So it's like a all-in-one fail swoop.
Makes total sense.
Is there any other questions?
I had one.
Yes.
The only question I had, Jamie, was before you, like, obviously you're building a relationship and talking to them before you send this form. But do you cover the cost with them? Because obviously all the different packs are different. So do you go over the cost with them, like once they've picked like the pack in your form and say like, okay, great, this is how much it would be? Or do you go over the cost of those challenge packs before you send the form to them?
No, because the price is on the picture with all the forms.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So let me show you. That way you guys can see it. I think the price is on there. I mean, I'm pretty positive it is. Let me look. See, so right here it has all the prices for every country that we go. So that way they can see what they're getting themselves into before.
Okay. That makes more sense.
It kind of takes that awkward pressure, because when you're talking about price to people can be really weird. And so that gives them, it kind of makes them feel like they have control, and you're not trying to just shove. The thing that I've been hearing, so in my own challenge group, I know my coaches already know this, but I have been like just going in on mindset and stuff in my challenge group and all of that kind of stuff. And like, I've heard just from today, a few people saying, I picked Jamie as a coach. I had a terrible experience with other coaches, but Jamie isn't like shoving product down my throat or trying to get a sale or anything like that. And I feel like when you it's almost, what is the saying? Like, you let them feel like they have control of the situation or something, so that, and that's the same with when you list off the prices. When you're doing individual prices and packs and you're like, well, here's the pack option, and they're like, well, that's too much. And then like Ashley does a great job with wording her pack options and prices and breaks it all down, but my brain doesn't work like that. And I don't want them to feel like, oh, well, you can't afford this pack, but I do have this pack. Like, I didn't give them all the options. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I'm giving them the best value for the bigger pack, but in their mind, they're thinking, oh, she's just trying to take all my money. Do you know what I mean? So when they can see, like when you say, oh, you get pre-workout, you get this, this, and this, when they can see it, it's more like, okay, I can see, it's easier. But when, for me at least, when I read, okay, you get all of this for this much money, I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like that much, or I don't know, that sounds like too much. You know what I mean? So the visual aid helps with the pricing. And I haven't had issues with people getting the better, I don't know, packs. I mean, I did the test on, oh wait. Use shop form. Ashley, what verbiage do you use when breaking down pricing?
So I was actually just going to say something about that. So before I had this image, I was explaining is it the deluxe challenge pack where you get the Shakeology pre-workout and post-workout. That's the one I would say, like, this is the one that people generally always get because you get the most bang for your buck initially. And honestly, most people just bought that one. They're like, cool, they trusted me and I built enough of a relationship that that's how we did it. But I do also, like, one thing that I've really pressed on is I don't generally like the really big, long messages, but with that one I do, because I want them to see, like, how much stuff they get. So I, like, list it all out. Mm-hmm. Like, in, obviously, conversation form, I say, you get this, 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 and I explain everything, like the tracker, my accountability group, like every little piece that you get of it. And
And then they really find the value in that. But before that, I've already like talked to them and found out what they need and what they're looking for. And you can find little pieces of each program that will fit someone no matter what. So if someone says like, I don't have enough time, when I'm emphasizing like whatever I'm telling, I emphasize more that it's a short workout, and I build the value on what they needed for each person. So it does take me more time, and it's not as like streamlined as most coaches do, but I do have a very high success rate on selling the larger challenge pack rather than the smaller one.
Mm-hmm.
And then if people say it's too expensive, then I'm like, perfect, that's okay. Let's try this month. And then if you want to try superfoods later or whichever one they chose, you can, but you'll have the option later. You can just get this now since it's what you can afford. And some people seem to find relief in that there is something cheaper.
And your vibe attracts your tribe. So here's the thing. I attract a lot of people that are pinching pennies and on a budget and stuff like that. Whereas Ashley, I'm pretty sure when she signed up with me, she got the best bang for your, did you not?
I just got Shakeology and 21 Day Fix.
Oh, well, I totally thought that you got the bigger package.
Mm-mm.
But either way, she attracts people that want a good deal. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Ashley Molsap, she also attracts people that want a good deal because she talks about how she's like that all the time and she wants a good deal, so people trust that. And like, I attract people that obviously want a good deal, but also where, you know, so you have to, what you speak, what you talk about, and all of that kind of stuff is what you get.
Well,
Go ahead.
Okay, so that's where building value, like in your niche of people, really helps. It depends on what you want to build value on. And my niche is I shop at Goodwill. I get good deals. You know what I mean? And so that's how I work it. But whereas Jamie, she comes from poverty and she speaks of that freely. And so she attracts a lot of people that are like that. And she explains why in her life that fits for her and why she was able to make it work. So it's really just your people, and you have to figure out like, okay, what do I put out? And then go from there.
And as a coach, you get to do it all your own way. So maybe you only want to offer them 2 or 3 packs. You are totally able to do that. It's totally up to you. I like to offer all the spectrum. I am pretty much free game for most of the part. I just want to help, and some people won't even let you in the group unless you have Shakeology and stuff like that. Like, there's just no right or wrong way of doing it. That's kind of why I wanted you guys to watch that video first. You just do what you can do. Like, don't try to look at other people. I know that we're getting ready to go. Maybe Ashley, sometime you can like share with me the verbiage that you use when you break it down, that long message, and share it, because I know Samantha asked about it. And it's pretty, I mean, Ashley Molstad's also shared something like where she breaks it all down too. But since we're getting close to the end, this is something that I really wanted to read to you guys real quick. You would think that I put things in places where I'm like, okay, this will be easy to find. And then when I'm sitting there, I can't find it. Where it be? Oh, don't let your food get cold watching someone else's plate. Okay? Just like stay in your lane. But do not let your food get cold. No matter what you are doing, it doesn't matter how many people that anyone else is helping. The fact that you're helping yourself while trying to help other people is where change begins, okay? We, as our whole downline, has the privilege of having some freaking rock star coaches on our team. And Ashley gets 200, 300 Success Club points, and Emily gets high Success Club points, and then they have a lot of team members that get high Success Club points. And I even got caught up in like, oh my gosh, I've been on this team a while. I'm sure Emily can relate. I've been on this team a while. I need to be up there with like 30 SC points and all this stuff. And you know what? No, we are looking, when you're doing that, you are looking at somebody else's plate while yours is getting cold. Yours is just as fulfilling. Yours is just as comforting. Yours is just as awesome, because you're doing something that in the beginning when you signed up for this, you thought you could not do. Okay. So as we end this year, don't sit there and be like, oh, I really wish that I would have ended this year at so blah, 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 blah. And I'm not giving you permission to give up this month. Okay. I'm not giving you permission for that. That is actually when you are still looking at other people's plates and not your own. You're just leaving yourself with an empty plate and you're depriving yourself. So don't do that either. Okay. So create a system that's going to work for you. Simplify the system. Okay. Personal development. If you're struggling, you're not alone. Hello, I just made it super public. I'm struggling. And it's really, really hard to do a business where you're helping other people, but you're struggling with just even helping yourself. And I don't know if this is a quote that I read somewhere, but it's been stuck on my mind forever and always. And you guys, we have the privilege of being a part of an amazing upline team, downline team, challenge group teams, all the teams. And so what was it? Gosh, now I'm not going to forget it, but it's been on my mind. Oh, why carry the weight of the world when the world can carry the weight together? We do not have to go through the struggles alone. And I feel like a lot of times we think that we have to struggle all by ourselves, or we have to do it just like someone else, or we have to do it like the person on the national wake-up call, or we have to do it like Emily, or we have to do it like Ashley, or you have to do it even like me. You don't have to do a job form if it doesn't work for you, if it makes it more confusing for you, if you'd rather have conversations. Maybe you want to do video calls, whatever it might be. It's going to be different for you. It's your own plate. It's your own appetite. It's your own flavor of things. And you can't sit there and look, but know that there's several options for you out there. And when you are struggling, you can ask somebody else to help carry your plate if you need it, because we are surrounded by several people that are willing to help all of us. Okay. So does anyone have any final questions before we end the call or things? I hope that this was helpful and not a waste of time. I just know that it's been really helpful for me having this form, because I get so overwhelmed with messages. And if you guys are introverts, I'm like an extroverted introvert. I know how to have a good dang time around people and with people. And like even Emily and Ashley have seen it. Like at Summit, like I will shut down when I'm overstimulated. I cannot handle it, holding back tears. And so it's the same thing when I'm messaging people all the time. And my messages are very emotional with people. They pour out their hearts, and it's a lot. So if you can somehow save yourself some energy of messaging people and give them all of this, it's going to be helpful. And that step that I did, because I noticed that I was getting so overwhelmed that I was just like, I cannot do this. And I was really feeling like a struggle, you know. And I want you guys to know, no matter how long you've been in this business or how great you are, you're going to have hard months. You're going to have, whether it be personal, whether it be business, whether it be both right on top of each other. That's just how it's going to be. Okay. So, yeah, so many naps for next Summit for sure. You guys better all go to Summit. It's absolutely worth it, but it's busy. Okay. So, all right, let's all take a picture, because you guys are going to post this in your Instagram stories and create FOMO. Okay. It's all about breadcrumbing. This is how you get business builders. Okay. So if you have a coach sneak peek, there you go. So, you can take it whenever you want. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Now, something I want to end on. Emily, Autumn, and I do calls together. So we've got a few ideas for the next couple calls, but we want to help you, okay? We've maybe been in it a little bit longer. Maybe you need help with something that we aren't thinking that you need help with. So if there's an idea, oh yes, Ashley can do a training on Google Streak. That would be incredible. And then we've got trainings. Next week, we've got some guest speakers, and my sister's gonna do a training for Canva, a free training for Canva for you people that want to be able to learn how to make graphics, and it will be live on one of our team calls. but we need more ideas so that we know that our calls are not wasting your time and it's actually helping you. Okay. So we're up for any idea. Okay. What you're struggling with right now. It doesn't matter. You let us know and we will start planning them out. Okay. And I will talk to you guys all later. Thank you. How do I end this? There.